Hello everyone, welcome to Natty's Home Cooking. Today we are going to do homemade starter. It's like a homemade yeast, but this is what we're going to be making right here. It's pretty easy to do. I'll do the steps with you on how to do this. You will need flour and you will need water, bottled water. I don't use the tap water just because I don't know. I've heard some stories about that, but I just don't know I don't remember what it was. But so I use a clear glass so I can kind of watch my starter grow and see how it's progressing through the days that I'm doing it. So what I do is I do 1 cup of flour, and then I'm going to go ahead and just pour that in there. There we go. Then I'm going to use about a 1/2 cup of clean water, because for me, my consistency, I do not like it thin and I do not like it too thick. I like it kind of in between when I'm making my starter. So what I like to do is make it like a pancake mix, where it's a little bit thicker and thin at the same time, I guess. So to me, this is still too thick, way too thick. So I'm going to have to add a little bit more water. And you just want to add a little at a time till you get that consistency that you want. Okay, so now I want to use a spatula, kind of scrape down the sides so that I can kind of clean it up a little bit and get it to where I can kind of monitor my starter as it grows. Yes, it's still a little too thick, but I'm going to leave it as is and just work with it. So just to let you guys know, when you're making your starter, use a wooden spoon or a plastic a rubber spatula. Don't ever use metal, okay? And don't ever put it in a metal container. I just heard that it doesn't grow as well whenever you do that. Kind of breaks it down more. So this is why. And then now that I've got it clean, just don't snap the lid down. Just kind of keep it up at the top to where it has some kind of air coming through a little bit. Okay, so this lid is so annoying. There we go. Okay, so now that I've got it all nice and clean and my starter set, I'm going to just let it grow for a couple days or a day. And it's already getting there. I could already see some bubbles going. So I need to feed it again. And I'm going to let it set for another 24 hours after I feed it. So I'm going to add 1/2 cup of flour this time. And then, so sorry, my dogs are drinking and they are loud when they drink water. Okay, so let me get this flour here. And my husband's playing games. So I'm going to use this 1/2 cup of flour, and then we're going to add a little bit of water. Remember, do a little bit of water at a time. You want that good consistency for your starter. So since I had it too thick the last time, even though it still grew really good, I'm just going to mix it up here. Get it all mixed up really good. Alright, and clean it down a little bit. Put my lid back on and set it above the stove. Alright guys, look at it. It's growing really good. We're getting there. And this is just a couple days. Look at that. That looks so good. For me, I like to let my starter grow for at least 7 days, because then I know I have a very good starter that I can actually make some bread and all that. Because you want it to be very, very, I guess, rich in that yeast, is I guess what you want to say. I may be saying it wrong, so don't quote me on it. I do apologize. I am going to make an extra for one of my friends. Okay, so now that I got an extra glass that I'm going to be making for another person, I'm going to go ahead and feed my yeast and feed their yeast as well, and get that one going too. This yeast has already been setting for a while, so I've let it set for another 24 hours before adding another feed to it. Okay, so we're gonna add some more water. Mix really well. Get it all nice and clean. I love how this starter makes some really good bread. I love the taste of that sourdough bread. It just is so amazing. And it's not just sourdough bread that you can make. You can make biscuits, you can make pancakes, you can make all kinds of things with it. So that's why it's always good. And this is my yeast after 7 days. It's all the way to the top. It's full. It's growing very actively. So now I can actually start making bread and using this starter. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna show you guys how to start the bread process. I'm just gonna do a really quick rundown with it. I will have a video up to do the bread making step by step, but I just want to kind of do a little fast forward on how I do my bread and what it looks like when it's cooked with the starter that I used. So I did end up making another starter for someone else as well, and got that going for them. So anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoy the video for the rest of this. So just keep watching and you guys can see how I make my bread. All right, enjoy.